I think the thing that we all saw in taking this short flight, number one, the lives that are in peril in Pocahontas, in downtown Pocahontas. A lot of homes and businesses are going to be affected and ruined by this flood, the Black River.
Right there's the river. You see the river winding there.
See the river, but where's the levee?
Over it. But it's so high you can't see where the levee's at, Rich.
I saw lots of water. I saw lots and lots of acres. I'm not sure how many acres, you know, from 40,000 to 50,000, maybe up to 100,000 acres of just farmland that's underwater, not just parts of the fields, but whole fields, you know. Saw breached levees where it's going over the levees, and when it goes over the big levee, it makes a washout, a bad place in the field, you know. And then of course all your rice levees, anybody that's in water right now, your rice levees, you're gonna have to replace them. You're gonna have to pull them down, and probably wherever they broke, you've got a hole there now too. So, and then there, you know, I'm sure we saw bean fields that were underwater that were planted that we didn't know of. We just saw lots and lots of acres that's underwater.
See those bins to our left, they're all underwater.
Oh yeah.
You know, we were flying about 1,500 foot above the rivers, the Black, the White, and the Cache, and all of them don't have any place to go, so they're spreading out. And you look down and say, well, you know, that's a lot of water, and then you start concentrating on the home sites, the farm shops, the grain bins. You look at all the devastation that this water is going to do before it leaves us on the crops, and how that's going to affect a lot of farm families. It's Mother Nature is hard to deal with sometimes.
From the plains view, we're looking at probably 40,000 acres flooded, just from our standpoint.
Oh, I think so. You know, I mean, you see a bunch of sections. If you look at, you can see a section here and these sections all over the ground is completely underwater.
Well, I mean, you realize how big it is, how big encompass that it's going to affect, how many people it's going to affect. When you're on the ground, you're thinking of your little area, but you realize, man, we got the Cache River, we got the Black River, we got the White River, we got the San Francisco River, we got the Langille River, we got the Bayou de View River. They're all out. It's just tons of acres, you know, and it's just going to affect so many people.
When you fly over it, and like I say, 1,500 to 2,000 foot, you see the enormity of the water across the ground. But when you look down and isolate your eyesight on one farm, you see a lot of devastation.